Well, here is the current situation. Didn't have to use the service truck to blow up the tires on anything, but this hay head is sunk in the ground and we can't get the machine in underneath it. So we got the 8700 in underneath this one, but we can't get the backup chopper underneath the new head. So we're gonna have to lift that up so that we can get in and underneath it. So we'll just kind of share this with you here, but at least we haven't got to bring the telehandler all the way over here. So let's go ahead and get our outriggers out, and we'll get the crane up and operational here. This is a pain in the you-know-what. Ground is just soft enough to cause a problem here. Alright, I need both hands. Alright, so I might not be close enough here. It's lifting the other side more than this side, but that's alright. So let me get that chopper away from the head and we'll have to reposition things here. Alright, so we have that lifted up out of the holes that the jack stands left. We'll go ahead and hurry up, get that chopper put into place, and we'll talk about the mistakes that we have made. was quite the fiasco. Monkeying around with lifting that head up off the ground. What I actually ended up doing in the end was just putting blocks of wood under the skid shoes. This ground was just too damn soft to get the geometry right to come in underneath it. And being that where that attaches to the chopper, so close to the chopper, the winch was too close to the windshield. I didn't want to break a windshield on that backup chopper there. So if you recall, last year when we started chopping first cutting, we had a center bearing go out of our older head. We ended up buying a new head so that we could get through first cutting, and we completely rebuilt that head. All new tine bars, tines, bearings, you name it, we replaced it on that head. That head is basically brand new. Now we have a machine in behind this head here, which we'll get into that a little more in depth here a little later on. We really don't have too much time to do a real good walk around of it, but it is somewhat of an introduction to our backup machine, to the 8700. We do have to put a rear bumper slash tow hitch on this chopper here, and we're going to copy this unit here. So the back of these choppers are exactly the same. I've got to get some metric bolts to fill these holes here, and then we'll use this. We'll have to take this pad off here. I'm either going to cut this pad out and use it for to be able to pull from, but this unit here definitely needs a bumper, but it doesn't need a bumper until we get into chopping corn with this unit here. The plastic's a little different on the other chopper. There's a little more black in where there's the green on this 8700. The 8700 is going into its 8th year this year. So when we get into building the bumper for this unit here, we will go a little more in depth with this unit as to what it is and whatever like that. But this one does not have the preservative tank in underneath the engine like this one here does. It just does not have that on there. This one's got a big 100-gallon tank that is in underneath the engine. We never used it for inoculant or preservative. You could use a couple of different products with that, and it doesn't have the small tank on the side of it either. It has the lubrication unit for the kernel processor right there up on the fender, whereas the other one, we had that added to it, and that sits in the bay here in behind the cab. That sits right there. See it right there. So that's basically the same thing. We ended up getting a shear processor with this unit here as well. So we'll get into this machine at a later date here. So we need to get these put away, and we need to get servicing corn planters. But over the winter, we ended up putting new stripper plates on the augers. I ended up replacing the throat in this head that was all wore out, and then of course we ended up rebuilding the front tine bar section here this past summer. Everything was brand new when we got done with it. So we'll get back, we'll get these put away, and we'll get back to the shop and get working on the corn planters. All right, so both of these machines are parked up, and we will revisit these in no longer time than a month. If we get time, we might work on the bumper for this thing here, but I'm afraid that we're gonna end up working on it between first and second cutting. But at least I can get my materials laid out and I can get started on some of the project anyway. So let's go ahead and get back to the farm and get corn planters ready to roll. All right, so we've got both of these units hooked up and they're all plugged in. However, we have to hook well, they're not entirely plugged in. We have to hook in the in-furrow applicator unit to this tractor, but we've got all the hoses and everything hooked up correctly to run the planter itself. We just need to hook this guy up here, which it plugs into that gray cord there, and that will do that. Now we have this here planter, the older one, half-ass serviced. This one here we need to go through and grease it, but this is all this one needs is grease. This planter, we're running into the second year. This will be its second year, and when I ordered this planter, I ordered it without closing wheels. Put on the Schaefer Mohawks, I think they're called. They're in good shape. They'll go another season. This one here, the closing wheels that are on it are running into a couple of seasons. I've got new ones ready to go on it. And I think what we're gonna do is just kind of run these until they're run out. This one's all plugged in and ready to go. We have the in-furrow unit plugged in. Everything's greased on this one. We do need to check over the seed opener discs. They are a borderline. I haven't decided if I want to replace them now or wait. So that's it with that one. We do have a box of closing wheels in the shop here, and we've got a couple of videos that are kind of running. One's running into another one, and one's running over the top here. So we've got multiple things going on in this video that you'll probably see in another one. So there's our seed opener, new seed opener discs there. We're due to get some rain here today. I could start planting corn here tomorrow. If I can plant tomorrow, I'm gonna start. If we get rained out, seed opener discs are going on, and we're just going to play that game. So that is gonna do it for this video. You'll learn what's going on with this unit here and that unit there in the next video, and what we've kind of been doing in between. But we have been running from one thing to the next here. So that is going to do it. I want to thank everybody for watching, and we will catch you at the next video.